No secret now that for years, consoles have been losing more and more ground to PC. Now, just recently, I'm not sure if it was a rumor or an announcement, but it's been said that Xbox is actually losing the console war to PlayStation, and in the next Xbox that we'll be seeing, that it'll be more of a computer than a console. Now, whenever you think about a computer and what it does, something pretty high up there is mods. That's why whenever console mods debuted a few years ago, it was such a big thing. It's why it still is a big thing because of how limited they are. Although, I mean, the fact that they are there in the first place is really cool to begin with. But the fact is, there's just a lot of things that computers do that consoles can't, okay? There's a bunch of reasons to actually buy a computer rather than just have a console. Although a console is more dedicated to gaming, but I don't know. I feel like there's just specific use cases for each one. Not to get into the whole cost thing, but I guess we could talk about that. So, for the majority of people, they don't have that much money to blow on a computer that they might not even be sure that they'll use more than a couple times a week, right? It might be a more it might be a smarter financial purchase to buy the 500, $600 console rather than blow 2 grand, 2,500, 3 grand, 1,500 on a computer. You know what I mean? And they might not even want to use keyboard and mouse, so they might just be using a controller 90% of the time. And some of my friends do, and they're already on PC to begin with, so you know what I mean? You're already removing half the PC element right there. What else do you use a PC for? You could use it for writing, for typing things, to make graphical things, to code, to, in my case, make videos, which is a pretty good use of it. But I mean, consoles have been allowing people to stream for years to record things, so I can't exactly say that it's specifically a PC thing. However, I feel like PCs definitely do it better. There's just a lot more customization, a lot more functionality, a lot more ability in the first place there. You're not as hindered as you are in console, though I do appreciate the effort put forth. Another great thing PCs do well is emulation. Well, nothing really does emulation well, but you know what I mean. And I know that with backwards compatibility, it basically is the same thing as emulation, but it really isn't the same. Okay. I've got to say though, it is pretty surprising because last I heard Xbox was doing pretty well, especially with the Game Pass. That was like that's become the majority of the reason to do anything with Xbox now is to subscribe to Game Pass because they do have a lot of games on it, man. I mean, it's got a lot of perks, and I say this after having moved off of Xbox years ago, man. PlayStation doesn't really have anything except exclusives, and hey, you know what? If you like Death Stranding 2, go for it, man. I mean, Xbox has plenty of exclusives too, but nothing really huge or major. The huge selling point in the last few years is just that you'll drop $1 a month, 5, 10, whatever the price is, to be able to have literally hundreds of games. And you don't even need an Xbox to do it. I think you just need a Microsoft account now to do it. And there you go. You're signed up to Game Pass. You know what I mean? The only bad thing is the subscription model, but there's so many companies that are doing that nowadays that it's really nothing different. Okay, it's pretty ordinary at this point, as sad as it is to realize that fact. Going forward though, I'm not really sure where this is going to leave us. Maybe this gives PlayStation a little bit more wiggle room to mess around with. I really don't know. You know, gaming might be changed because Xbox is one of those giants, and I don't know if it's really going to go away entirely. Maybe it'll eventually go directly into a PC and just say fuck it. But I really don't know. I don't think anybody knows. People have been saying for years that PlayStation has no games, and maybe this will finally give them time to get those games if Xbox is really pulling out a little as they say they are, or as it's rumored to be, whatever the case is. I'll tell you what though, one of the major reasons I actually moved to PC is because I didn't want to keep paying for the to play online, man. That's nearly 70% of the reason I moved from console to computer because I had no other reason to. I wasn't producing anything, I wasn't making anything, I wasn't doing anything different that I would need a computer for, right? I was just sick of buying gold every month, every 3 months, every 6 or year, whatever it is. Okay, it's stupid to because you're already paying for the console, but I mean you're already paying for the games too, right? But that is the entire thing. So the companies sell you the console at a lower price so that whenever games release and you want to say, "Oh, I want to play online with my friends," that's where they gouge the fuck out of you, and that's where that money comes back. It is a deliberate model. They've been doing it for years, for generations actually, and there's plenty of reasons why, because it works. Because people keep buying those consoles, people keep buying those games, people keep subscribing to Sony and Microsoft. The cycle continues and it keeps going on. Anyway, the rumor might be totally unsubstantiated. I'm not really sure, and to be honest, I don't really want to look, but I really could believe it because I haven't heard anything good about Xbox literally besides the Game Pass. Nothing at all. Maybe the fact that they're opening up modding more and more for their games, but I'm pretty sure that's on a game by game basis, not really much of like a console thing, but I guess them allowing it in the first place is. And of course, every once in a while, whenever you find a game that actually is crossplay, that is nice too. Whenever you have those friends that refuse to move on to another console or play a different fucking game, you kind of have to go to their level, which is fun. I'll say that. But moving to PC means you really don't have to deal with that bullshit, man. You don't have to say, "Oh, I'm on Xbox, you're on PlayStation. There's like 10 games in total we can play together." You don't have to deal with that bullshit anymore. I'm gonna say I really don't think consoles are. They might go to something a little bit different, but I don't think we're quite there yet. I'll tell you one thing that would help if scalpers didn't immediately buy up every console's release. That would definitely help because it took like a solid year and a half, 2 years to even really see the PS5 and the fucking new Xbox. So, like, you know what I mean? That shit is fucking sickening. So there you go. There's another reason not to buy a console because you're not limited to a specific release. You can buy different graphics cards and processors and shit. You don't have to wait around. You know what I mean? But hey, at the end of the day, there's plenty of reasons to and plenty of reasons not to. I mean, I can't hold you from doing one thing or another. I'm throwing out my opinion. I'm saying what I think, and we'll leave it at that, I guess.